who work virtually from home over a distance of a few miles. McKinsey Global Institute predicts that the global labor workforce will reach 3.5 billion people by 2030. Remote work is increasingly here to stay. The future is in remote work. None of these trends or predictions, however, accounted for a global pandemic that would require the wholesale migration of nearly entire companies to remote work in a matter of weeks. The remote work revolution, long in coming, was accelerated by the sudden and severe coronavirus outbreak. Chances are you are part of the massive transition that has forced companies to rapidly advance their digital footprint, including cloud, storage, cybersecurity, and device and tool usages to accommodate their new virtual workforce. These changes have opened up a whole new scope of untold opportunities for people and organizations across the globe. Now that companies have glimpsed the opportunities that remote work can provide, a portion will permanently maintain some remote days in their routines long term. In a survey conducted in April 2020 by the Gartner Group, 74% of 317 companies reported plans to indefinitely adopt more remote work post-COVID-19. Facebook, taking a gradual approach, expects to transition as much as half of its workforce to work from home within 10 years. Stockholm-based fashion brand CDLP plans to restructure to locate 50% remote workers around the world. JP Morgan Chase, which saw its traders triple their productivity working from home, announced that the company is considering a permanently remote workforce, while UBS already expects as much as 1/3 of its employees to work remotely on a permanent basis. Group PSA, Europe's second-largest car manufacturer, announced a new era of agility in which its non-production staff will shift to remote work. The internet company Box expects more than 15% of its workforce to work remotely full-time after the pandemic. Similarly, Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange, declared it will become a remote-first company, estimating that 20 to 60% of the company will work remotely after restrictions are lifted, with more to follow over time. Nielsen Research in New York City will have its 3,000 workers work from home most of the week. Nationwide Insurance, observing no loss in employee performance while avoiding operational costs during lockdown, will be transitioning employees at 16 of its 20 locations into remote workers. Tata Consultancy Services announced that it plans to have about 75% of its workforce working remotely by 2025. Other Indian multinationals have also followed suit, as Infosys and HCL Technologies expect 35 to 50% or fully half of their employees to work remotely post-pandemic, respectively. The list goes on. Rather than making plans to incorporate part-time or temporary remote work, Twitter and Square, both headed by CEO Jack Dorsey, made the bold move of giving their workforce the option to work from home forever. Other companies, such as Slack and Shopify, have also responded to the call, announcing that they would extend indefinite remote work arrangements to most of their employees. An upstart company, Cul-de-sac, took it a step further and declared the company was giving up its San Francisco office for a full-on remote work format with the hopes of creating opportunities to create a novel, homeless, nomadic culture. More are bound to follow. As you may have discovered, there is no doubt that remote work has benefits. Commute times disappear. Operational costs get slashed. Bloated travel budgets are no longer imperative. Hiring and retaining employees without asking them to relocate from their home countries or domestic cities becomes conceivable, resolving global travel barriers. Astronomical real estate costs that exist in some locations have the potential to get reduced significantly, a welcome solution in an economic downturn. Societal ills like poverty gaps between rural and metropolitan areas might have the opportunity to close, while simultaneously creating an untapped labor pool for companies. Gender gaps may shrink as organizations